Okay, so there we are. We are live. It is E2F2L Highlander Winter 2023 season, and it's going to be Feila started off in the red, and it's twice in the blue. We can start by just running down the rosters once more. So for twice, we've got BB on Scout, Hive Soldier, Pyro is Dealt, Sammy is Demoman, Odin is Heavy, Karik Engineer, Zeo Medic, Buko on Sniper, Axio on Spy.
And then it's Kanga on Scout for Feila, Honjo on Soldier, Nebu on Pyro, Joe is on Demo, Poi is back on Heavy, Anzu on Engineer. I believe it's actually Harry on Medic and not Layla. Screamus on Sniper, and Yurkus on Spee.
So yeah, interesting to see we are here. Payload visual, more becoming increasingly kind of favoured, standard kind of payload map. Everyone seems to like it. It's been brought in, a few seasons back, and it seems to have stuck around. As we're going to see twice start off on the blue, try to push in as fast a time as possible. At the moment, we can just see their team moving through mainly the flank. The car is being moved as well, just about. Jerkers lurking around trying to spot something, but the flank is actually quite open. Everyone's very, very passive on the Feila side, not wanting to give much up, and Honcho has actually done quite a great job of building up 60% on his Contra already, even despite not much contesting from either side. Just long range spam has been enough to build up a bit of Contra, as the flank has been completely given up, and the car is only moving very, very slowly thus far.
I'm always interested to see what way teams line up on this first point on Vigil, because there's two schools of thought on playing this quote unquote passively and quote unquote more aggressively by holding the house. But calling it passive is doing it a disservice, because look at the damage that Screamus is able to do with some of these cyclones. He's been able to take out a lot of very important players, and it slowed the cart to an absolute crawl. They still haven't got that first point as a result.
Yeah, Poi has had to go and try and block the cart, but he's been caught a little bit too far forward, not supported by his team. Kanga managed to get himself out of there, so Poi's the only real casualty for Feila as of now. They've got set up on second, they've got Scrimmers in position to look down that long sight line down that hill, supported by his Pyro and presumably Demo Man as well. There's a big jump in from Hiver. Actually gets killed by the sentry gun. Some damage does go down onto Harry, sat in the dispenser. He's going to be able to hide for now, going to keep himself alive. And yeah, that was an unsuccessful sack wave for twice. They definitely gave it a shot, got some damage down, but wasn't enough to force.
Yeah, it got a little bit dicey there at times. When you lose your dispenser armor as a medic in that position, it can feel very, very scary indeed. But some good work by the red players, just kind of grouping up around Harry and being able to defend them as best they possibly could. That conch coming back in from Honjo as well, just to clean up the last few kills. Really, really crucial. Very well played by Feila on defense there.
Yeah, the car moving was slow on that first point, but twice have picked up a little bit. It's right at the end of the tunnel now, so that's about as far as they can go before they have to deal with that sentry gun that's going to be shooting down at them. Joe is actually playing on the low ground, just putting some stickies down on guard at the moment. They're just sort of waiting around. They've got the pick onto Jerker, so there's not going to be any information for the defenders coming in, but as it is, they're just going to trade straight in from top onto Sammy. It's milked for quite a long time until it's eventually popped out onto Joe. They're going to get decent position back up the hill, but there is a wrangled sentry gun. It's mini sentry, sorry, from Karik that they have to deal with. Hive now trying to get some aggression going from that high ground position. Sammy very, very low, waiting for an arrow. He's going to have to wait an awful long time because Zeo has gone down. And at the moment, it's just kind of crumbling for twice until Buko finds a spot, finds his position, snipes down Harry, and will go down for it. Joe up to a 4k, but that big medic frag coming in from Buko gives an opportunity now to push in a few seconds with a heal advantage.
Yeah, it looks like the last few remaining stragglers from Feila are just going to pretty much give this one up, as Karik plants that mini sentry gun on the hill, as if to say, this is our territory now, boys. Yeah, a very nice repush post Uber there, managing to pick off one or two players even without their medic. Obviously, that was a massive snipe by Buko. Like, that is the sort of thing that you kind of need in games from your pick classes, you need them to pull out the big moments, and well, that was a big moment. That was a big moment. Gets them the second point in 3 minutes 30. Now they have to contend with this hill on the third point.
Yeah, not only the second point did it win them, it's also netted them quite a considerable Uber advantage here. Haven't been building it absolutely optimally, but it's going to be something still to work with. Buko takes a lot of damage, but the combo at the moment trying to move through this locker room. Uber advantage is dwindling, but still could maybe be worked with. And here we go, Sammy taking the Uber in, still a little bit before Harry will get it. So they've pinned everyone back into that spawn door area. However, does get destroyed with a reflect by Nebu, but with them not even having the Uber up until just about now, we're not even going to see Feila attempt to make a defense and be completely pinned out of that third point.
Yeah, getting that much of an advantage. It kind of looked like Feila were half considering trying to stay in and, you know, build the last amount of the Uber, but they still had about 15-20% to go. There's no way you risk that with shiny players in your face and only a narrow door to escape. Having to give up third like that so quickly is not ideal. Third can be one of those points you can stall out really, really well, but you can kind of stall out all three of the last 3 points really, really well. So as long as you get some time out of them, it's not a big deal. They've got a level 3 up, they've got Uber, they've got time.
Yeah, not too many frags happening at the moment, but Twice have done well. They've pushed the car all the way that they just about moving through into main now, and they've built up their Uber as well. So we are in an even Uber situation, but not for long, because an Uber trade is coming in again. It's early on to Sammy, countered back onto Nebu and Joe for Feila. They're trying to get aggressive in main, but again a repush attempt. This time it's a little bit less successful though, as Hondro jumps down into main, kills Sammy and Dealt, and just doing an excellent job of defending there. Hondro coming in at a crucial time in the post-Uber situation, helping his combo out. You know, not having to do too much work on the flank and just really utilising that contra.
I really like the idea there from Twice. Like, they had the Uber exchange going on, and then they made sure that Axio actually killed Anzu. So then when they repushed, there was no engineer theoretically to heal that sentry. But the problem is, if you're pushing dry through that choke point and there's a conch and 2 explosive classes in your face, you're going to feel the pain. You are going to feel the pain. And they did.
Twice combos tried to move through Cafe, but they still just a little bit too long, and Sammy and BB both get picked up there. Didn't really work out ideally for them. Great repush by the Feila flank, just sitting back, and Yurkus doing work picking up Buko as well. So no sniper to open things up does make it a lot harder to really do too much on this last point. The sniping from that big door area is such a crucial kind of silo that you need to control, and with Buko taken off the field so cheaply by Jerkus, excellent kind of work from the defending spy. Twice trying to just get some position. They've got their heavy Odin up in this window of the red room area. They're trying to find something for Axu as well. They're just going to take the Uber straight in, and Hondro does actually go down during that Uber, but Delt goes down shortly after, so going to even things out just a little bit now. Odin trying to make something happen entering from red room, but the damage and the frags is mostly going in Feila's favour. They've still got that level 3 sentry gun up on that little crate area, and the defense is looking imperious right now.
If you're gonna push in like that, you kind of need to be getting some crucial kills. They actually do get the sentry. That was one of the things I was going to talk about. Kind of want the sentry if you're going to repush, and they're trying to. BB's getting a good amount of card pressure there.
Yeah, some space for Buko outside as well, but he does get cleaned up again by that flank combo of Kangaroo and Honjo, doing excellent work to retake the flank, and just everyone who looked like they were in a position to get aggressive for Twice was cleaned up very, very swiftly. Just excellent timing on the kind of repushing from the defensive team. Honjo again has that contra up, just spamming people down in main, people eating damage. Buko not able to get anything going, not able to even like look down his barrel without eating a rocket. However, trying to whip people again, eating rockets at the moment, and Twice they look a little bit short on ideas right now.
They need to be getting important targets with these overcharges. What I was trying to say earlier. Like, they're not killing the sentry gun with it. They're not killing the sniper. They're not killing any combo members. They're trying to get a force here.
Oh, big bomb. It does get the force out. Very, very nicely done. They got Anzu as well. A nice little peek from Buko outside. Just perfect timing. Excellently constructed sack wave of having that threat of the sniper coming in the same time as the bombers. Worked perfectly, got the force, got the engineer kill, and now they're going to have 100% Uber in their hand. It's going to be a big, big advantage to push with.
Much better from Twice. Yeah, much better. They, again, got one of the important targets. They either got the sentry, they got a combo member, or they got the Uber, and it sounds so simple, but you need to get yourself an advantage like that when you're trying to push into such an enclosed space. They've managed to get it, and Axio, causing havoc, gets Harry again.
Great work. Nebu went down as well, so that's two big members of the combo down, and Buko picking up scrimmers. It's going to open so many opportunities up for Twice, just flooding in with the Uber. Sammy locking down that spawn. They still have Joe to contend with. The cart isn't quite there. Honjo in a position as well, but both of those players go down shortly, and there's going to be no one really to contest Odin and the cart cappers, so there we go. Twice making the cap, but it's in a not the best time, you could say.
Yeah, not ideal. And it's the little things, you know. Yeah, they managed to get themselves that advantage eventually on the last point, but just as they were re-pushing in, they lost BB, and because of that, they had no cart pressure for so long. It actually gave Joe a chance to respawn and delay them another 5-6 seconds. It's such small things like that can make a massive difference in a payload map like this, where momentum is absolutely everything, and they just ran into a brick wall on that fourth point.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't expecting it to be that long a time when it came up. They obviously had a few failed pushes, a few unsuccessful things happening, especially on that last point. But you know, they made decent time through third, and yeah, it is so crucial, this visual map. Most teams now at this kind of level, at Premiership level, they can always get consistently good times through third. No one's going to be held up too much. You know, occasionally get a minute or two or second, but the incisiveness of that last push, opening it up, is what really makes a difference.
What do you think of this sentry position by Karik here on Hill? It's very far forward.
I mean, I've seen people use it. They tend to use it with a Wrangler if it's going to be that far forward, but it is a little bit vulnerable. But yeah, as you correctly point out, very far forward, it does get immediately picked up.
I suppose the point is, you know, you should theoretically have a good bit of time to rebuild one, so you can get a little bit of disruption in there. But you can actually see, because they've lost a few players, there's a fair amount of pressure coming on them immediately by Screamus, who, of course, because I've talked about him, immediately gets backstabbed. But Honjo even, like, getting in the faces of them and just making it difficult for them to even slow down this first capture. This is quite quick from Feila.
At the moment, literally everything you mentioned just dies as soon as you mention it. Honjo went down there very shortly after, but as you say, much faster. First cap for Feila, just absolutely no messing around, just great cap time all the way. And just enough pressure that they got the cart. They're trying to come in through the tunnel area here. They're taking the Uber in onto Joe, but he's getting buffeted and blown away. Don't doing a great job with that. And now everyone's in the tunnel area. They do pick up Axio. They got a nice little frag onto Sammy and Karik as well. So what looked like a very ropey situation for Feila is okay. They actually get the pick onto BB as well. He got caught just going for a greedy frag onto Joe that wasn't quite there for the taking. Buko gets a snipe down, but does get backstabbed very shortly after, so it's all on Feila to make this push happen.
And again, important pick, just to break it open there by Yurkus when it was just in the balance. Like, I liked that kind of tunnel push initially because, again, as I've been talking about literally all game, they get the important advantage by taking out the engineer and the sentry. But because they never took any grounds, they had to retreat all the way up and try to get back up the hill, and the hill had a sniper on it, and there was a scout in their face, and just every little thing just slowed them down. But again, Feila no messing around, they're already far forward with an Uber charge.
Yeah, they're taking the Uber in aggressively. They got rid of the sentry gun. Zio's nowhere near Uber as it is, and everyone's so low for Twice. Not going to be able to fight this third point. They're going to be pushed back to last. The spawn is being watched by Py the Heavy as well. And they just lost a ton of position, ton of frags during that.
Yeah, it was just, I suppose, if you try to stick around on that point when you don't have the advantage to do so, then you are screwed, basically. They lost so many players there. They did keep their medic alive, but we'll see how useful that is for them when they don't have a setup here yet. They don't even have an engineer up yet properly.
Yeah, the bombs are now coming in from Joe and Honjo. Zio is having to kite forward, actually very nicely done, just dukes it into the red room area, knowing the threat was coming from players who had jumped in very deep behind, and very well negotiated there to keep control of that Uber. Still has 100%. Harry's going to be up there shortly as well, but unfortunately, despite Zio doing a good job, they did lose a couple of players for it, but not too much harm done for Twice, as most of them were spawned as of now.
Oh, Zio's caught in a terrible position because of the sniper sightline. He's forced by Py of all people walking around the corner. Now much better Uber charge able to come out from Feila, able to get some important picks. They've got the sentry, they've got Joe, or they haven't got Joe. What am I talking about? It's Sammy who's the right demo now. They're trying to conch out of this right hand room, but I don't know if they have the personnel for it.
Trying to block from Cafe. Sammy is still just about there, but he's got a heavy, very close range that he has to deal with. Actually, Hiver doing a great job combining with Delt. That was a great little pincer maneuver. 3 different angles just coming down on the cart, cleaning them up, and Twice looked like they were done for there, but just a great defense.
I'm hoping we got that headshot Buko got on Yurkus on stream, because that was disgusting. He was just on fire, like trying to escape, gets annihilated mid-jump. Such a nice shot. Really good respawn wave from Twice to be able to cut out the momentum right at source, but they've got a long time that they need to hold on to this point for.
Yeah, Feila look a little bit relentless. They had a slight setback, but immediately the players were back in action. Joe trying to make some spam happen did go down for it. They've lost Scribus now as well, but they still want to get aggressive. Boy, peeking through that red room area does get picked up, but at the moment I have to say from Feila there, it's not quite in sync. I think they have to just wait a couple more seconds for respawns before they continue the pressure, because you know, if Joe's not in a position to put damage down, you're heavy on your Pori peak and it isn't going to do too much for you.
It's going to be like, oh hey, look at me, I'm over here, but no, you need the demo man to be doing the damage, and that's what they're trying to do with the supercharge, but Joe's actually out of it altogether. You're not getting anything with this.
Yeah, not too much happening, but an attempt to re-push in from Red Room. Nebu's found a lot of space. Py is very weak. Someone else had to be arrowed as Joe, and he was very well cleaned up by Hiver as well. It's just a little bit scattered at the moment from Feila, coming in done in exactly the same way that we were seeing from Twice earlier. A big bomb coming in from Hiver, but doesn't quite get that final last rocket onto Harry, who will survive for now.
Would have been nice to get that little bit of extra advantage, but honestly they didn't really need it. They already had Uber advantage. And on defense, I think it's always important to keep your players up. Oh, Yurkus misses the stab on Zio. Oh my god, that would have been exactly what they needed. But again, they're just bleeding players. They're just bleeding players.
Yeah, they're trying to make Scribus give him the angle from outside, but Sammy just didn't respect him at all. He just went close, spammed down that sniper, dealt with him. No angle from outside. There were a few players trying to posture in from Cafe, make the aggression go from that angle, but yeah, again, a trade in through main onto Joe. Py does die post Uber situation. The cart is being moved back up. There's not too many defenders in position as well. Jerkins is on a bit of a tear. He gets a 3k. Karik going down in that. There's just a couple of blockers trying to come in for Twice, but it's not enough, and Feila are going to take the round.
This Layla's actually joined the server now, so Harry won't be on medic anymore. Now, that was a much faster time by Feila. I think they were about 5-ish minutes compared to the 9-10-ish minutes from Twice. They definitely have the advantage here heading into the second round.
Yeah, for sure. I think they were a lot smoother pretty much throughout the whole of the map. Yeah, particularly that first point, there was a difference maker, and again that last point. Yeah, they had a couple of issues, a couple of misplays, a couple of pushes not quite working out for them, but they never let the pressure off. And honestly, with that full 5 minute timer that they had to, I think is in fact maybe even be more than 5 minutes. With the amount of time that they had to push last, I don't think it was ever really in doubt. So now they have to go again. Really, this time it's them setting the pace, and we've seen it's been seldom that Twice have been able to slow them down for too long. So I'd expect a pretty sharp time as well this time around.
I'm always interested when you're in this ABBA type of pushing, when you literally just push and now you're pushing again. I want to see what Twice do differently this time around to try and, I suppose, see what they've learned from that Feila attack and try and adapt to it, see what they can do differently, because they pretty much just got rolled the whole way from first to last. Something's going to have to change.
Yeah, I think maybe they'll look at that kind of second point. Can they do a little bit more? If there is going to be a train coming in through that tunnel, can they get a few more frags and hold on to second a bit longer? That's definitely somewhere they could make some time up. But at the moment, they're not even risking anything on this second point. Karika's not put that aggressive sentry gun up. He's got that level 3 back on second. And yeah, first point very, very quick for Feila. But sticky trap coming in from Sammy, getting 3 kills and a sentry gun as well.
Goes down for it though, gets backstabbed. And arguably, if I was Feila, I'd be happy enough with that trade, No demo man now for 12, 10 seconds plus another 5, 6 seconds. This is go time, This is the advantage that you need to be able to use that little bit later and try and get that push in. Here they come.
Yeah, coming in from that tunnel area once more. The sentry gun's further back this time. Jerkus does get the sap on it. Point launched in the air, but no one really wants to get too close to him. Spammed him down, eventually Delp's diving in as well, but he gets levitated miles in the air himself, keeps himself alive. Layla's doesn't see that Sammy's bearing down on her. Layla gonna get picked up by BB as well. They've got most of the frags they would have wanted there Twice, but they have paid for it with a lot of deaths of their own.
I'm not sure about rebuilding here, to be honest, because look at the teleporter location and everything means they're able to get in quite quickly here. Poi does die, but they're getting pressure on that level 1 sentry already. And you don't even have your combo spawns yet, I'd still be fancying Feila to get forward here, but Joe gets picked up by Hiva. That's a really nice pick.
Yeah, got started to roll back just now, but Layla's so far forward. BB wins a crucial 1v1 against the buff scout counterpart, and Axio was bearing down on Layla, who goes down to single-digit health. Eventually does get the sandwich, but BB's still in the chase, and does get failed before getting taken out.
Oh, this is so much better from Twice. Pushing those little advantages that they have, and just really rolling with it to punish Feila's aggression, when they don't have the advantage to support it. They're just dealing with each kind of individual member of Feila really, really well right now. And there's some great individual plays coming out from the likes of Hive as well. And, Buko, winning a sniper 1v1s here, left, right and centre helps as well.
Yeah, a lot of just scrappy fighting, but BB just elevating his gameplay, really taking it to the opposition, finding frags left, right and centre. He sniffs Jerkus out going behind. He's going to escape for now, but you can tell that BB is on the hunt for as many frags as he can get right now, and it has just unsettled Feila a little bit. They look a little bit unsure of themselves, trying to muscle in through this slope area. Some spam coming down from Joe, but with Poi going down, doesn't have that heavy buffer next to him to eat the damage. They're finding some space for Scrimmers as Twice sit back a little bit, and it allows a trade to come in from the top area. They knock the heavy down onto the low ground. Odin as well got a lot of damage down onto various players for Twice here, but the frags are going in Twice's favour. BB picks up another one onto Poi. Odin's up to a 5k as well, so the defence is holding for now.
What happened there was Axio managed to kill the one unflashed player, and then the next unflashed player, one after the other. Is absolutely beautiful spy play, just taking advantage of that lack of invulnerability to kill the important players. No demo man, you're not going to do anything here. They've got the conch being able to repel this advantage. Look at the kills just coming in for them. Really nice aggression from Twice.
Yeah, great little push with the conscious full combo, walking in through main, denying all the space that Feila wanted, and a couple of those combo members for Feila got caught with the conscious coming into them. They couldn't escape. Now though, it's going to be Scrimmers picking up Sammy. That's so much space open up for Feila to get some damage on. They do get an early force out. It's going to be mostly onto Del, but no Sammy, no flank for Twice, and Layla's able to milk the Uber for an absolutely age, as they're just going to take this second cap in without Feila even having to pop.
That's a really nice advantage to take hold of. You know, there's not going to be a sentry here on this point if they roll this quickly enough. They mightn't even need to use Uber, but if they do, and if they can pick up some crucial players like they're trying to, that could really solidify this push.
Oh, they're using the Uber in early. They do have the frag onto Sammy, so that's a very, very nice frag, but there's still a long time for the cart to go and an opportunity for Twice maybe to attempt the repush. They don't have that Demo Man's damage, but perhaps they don't need it, as Poi is going to get picked up just by the spam of the soldier combined with Odin bearing down on him. And yeah, the cart's still far back, and they really haven't been able to hold that forward position here, Feila.
BB's been an absolute pest here. He was the one who was able to buy them the space to repush, and they've got the Uber charge, but Sammy's in the skybox. I don't think they're going to be able to get anything except for Nebu here, but they even got the cart up. That's such a good play by Feila to be able to get the cart up that hill. If they can repush with their spawns, they'll be well set.
Yeah, Nebu doing a great job just completely denying that Uber, but Twice know that they have the picks, they know they can keep the aggression going. Buko's found another one onto Joe there, BB picking up Boy as well, who got a little bit separated from his team in that lower area. So at the moment, yeah, just frag after frag going in Twice's favour, but an Uber's advantage back in the hands of Feila. They're going to pin players back towards the spawn area. They get some damage down onto the gun, but the gun is kept alive very, very well by Karik, and now it's going to be Zio coming very, very close. 95% up. They've already got the frags. The cap does go in Feila's favour. And yeah, that was all they needed. They actually got the force out of Zio as well. They did try and pop the Uber to block the cap, but it was too late.
I think they thought there was more players close by as well that they might be able to clean up with the Uber, even if they didn't stop the point, but there was just nobody there. They kind of just had to use the Uber to run away in the end, and don't know about you, but that don't feel good when you're a medic.
Yeah, I mean, they had the frags, they had the Uber, it didn't quite come up in time, but everything was in their favour, other than the fact they sat back just enough to allow the caps home to go Feila's way. And now Feila, they have an Uber of their own coming in through main. Sammy gets picked up with a nice little snipe beforehand. There is a conch out for Heimer, but it's going to have to do a lot of work. Honjo now is going to try and walk in, but doesn't walk in, but to walk into a conch heavy. But they're finding the frags here. Feila just absolutely nutting, and Honjo comes in, picks up the medic, and they're gonna push it in. It's not the best time, it's 7:49, but after stalling on second for a long, long time Twice, they were pushed to last pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that last hole, because they didn't have an Uber charge to counter it, crumbled into itty-bitty pieces, to be honest. Now, it doesn't help when you lose your demo man immediately to a snipe, but still, there was plenty of occasions where both teams had pushed with Uber into last and weren't able to execute, so that was a very nice last push from Feila to be able to get it on the first time of asking, and it kind of rescues the fact that they did stall so much on second, and on third as well, to be fair. They rescue it by getting such a good initial push on fourth. And, you know, they still end up with a faster time than Twice's push last time. So Twice are going to have to pick it up. What do they learn from Feila's defense? What do they learn from what Feila were doing on attack, even to try and pick up from themselves? What are they going to do different to push this faster?
Yeah, I think it definitely worked in Feila's into Feila's hands there, that the kind of Ubers were kind of off kilter the whole time. Either Feila had the advantage or Twice had the advantage, but it was never even Ubers. It was never having to hard trade in, and it just meant that stuff was happening, frags were falling, and there was never like a full stalemate, and that's always good news for the blue team.
Always works out better for them now, and it's pretty much the same setup once again from Feila on defense here. They've got the more passive sentry. They're all kind of sitting here waiting for the bombs to come on in, and they are coming in. They've got Screamus, and I think it's a Kritz. How did we miss that? There's a Kritz coming in.
Kritz coming in from Sammy, but they didn't find too much with it. They definitely would have wanted more. Lost a couple of their own, but it's going to be first, despite the cart time being once more absolutely god-awful from Twice. They do at least have some position on second, and they haven't forced Layla yet, but they're going for it now. Sammy jumping in. There's a soldier high in the backlines. He finds the spot and finds a nice little play to force that Uber out of Layla.
They did force the Uber, but again, it's Kritz they're against, you know, and Kritz don't do nothing against sentry guns, you know. But again, I suppose if you're going to be a point where, you know, Kritz isn't going to be countered by a sentry, this is probably it. Because you can probably get enough kills just by pushing up a hill with the Kritz, and it looks like they are preparing to do that now. They first have to test the sightline of Screamus, though.
Yeah, Feila at least have to be scared of the Kritz coming in, and actually Sammy's gonna find that frag onto Anzu. He finds the frag onto Layla, who's trying to hide, and the counter coming in from Kanga, just laying down the damage, picking up Zio. But when you've lost everyone else on the server, Twice will be happy to take that trade. You know, just their medic going down for, what was that, 7 frags?
Of all the ways I thought that Twice might adapt, Kritz on offense wasn't one in my locker book, but I mean, fair play. They're absolutely making it work here. Zio, of course, I think did go down there, so they don't actually have a Kritz on here to go with. We might be able to see a successful defense from Feila here. There is a sap on that sentry though, trying to get pressure around the corner, but Odin is so weak, and Sammy, they lose both combo members, and that will stall out the push on the hill here. You might be able to get an Uber charge to defend this hill, and then maybe get a defense on last. But man, despite pushing first really slowly, this is now an excellent time so far by Toys.
Yeah, they're making it work. That was good defense there coming in from Feila, scrapping to make it happen, and I think Zio got disconnected for quite a long time as well, so what was basically even Ubers has now ended up a little bit of advantage for Layla, but it's probably not going to be anything to work with. I don't really foresee Feila going for something, but they are actually just aggressively going in with the Uber. I don't know if that was forced or just an aggressive play. They don't get as many frags as they would have wanted, just BB, Hiver, and Axio going down. And Zio is now going to come back in with the Uber. It's onto Sammy. They're getting a little bit of space in through main, but not getting any frags themselves, really. And now it's going to be onto Kanga, to make aggressive plays in through main. Honjo combining with Poi as well to just rain down damage from that car area. Axio going for something sneaky, but they can't quite find it, and now it's actually Joe going to get 2 important frags around that car area.
As we enter, I believe, a pause.
It's just the one single round for Feila as we actually do resume, with Twice having, I think it was around 4 minutes to push these last couple of points.
Time running slow for them. They do have the Uber Disad. What can they work in order to get themselves the advantage they need to push this? There's a bit of a sniper duel about to go down here.
Yeah, it's actually going to be an Uber coming out from Feila, the red side. They get so many frags, actually. It was Churkas in the backlines finding them all. BB has found a couple in return, but definitely going Feila's way despite the casualties.
And they got Zio. That's the crucial one. Yurkus just in behind, able to clean up those last couple of players. I think he got a 3k, maybe even a 4k with the revolver. Who needs a gun? Or who needs a knife, I mean, in Spy? Your gun exists, you know, just shoot people.
Yeah, Revolver Jerk is certainly making his name work, but this time Sammy has found some space. There is Honjo just spamming down round that corner to deal with. The combo does eat some pain, but they haven't quite been able to knock Sammy off the cart, and Odin is there as well. But now the conch coming in from Honjo, just beautifully built up, but with the carts being so close there, Feila actually opting to back out, and with Jerk as the only one going in for a pick onto Sammy, which probably won't prove too important as he will respawn and they will have a little bit of cart time, but Feila not taking any risks there and backing up with that Uber and hand on to last.
It looks like it was Odin actually who DC'd and is now reconnecting. Now it's equal Ubers. We don't have a level 3 sentry yet. Do we go in initially here quickly as twice to try and get that advantage quickly? They've kind of taken over, trying to take over this cafe area. This is looking good for them so far.
Yeah, but BB just kind of run into the kind of combo of that heavy sentry gun walling about, zoning about, and then he ended up running into Kanga, so didn't find too much there. And they're going to rotate back outside. Buko's going to want to take him, but it's actually not even fully buff yet, but still does get a pick onto Kanga. They can hear that conch coming out from Honjo, but at the moment he's just using the backlines and probably expecting a push there or expecting a sack wave. Sammy just gets levitated up in the air, doesn't get anywhere near the sack coming in. Hiver got a little bit closer, but ended up just landing a bit short, and that's not going to be anywhere near enough to force.
No, unfortunately they weren't really able to get proper pressure in on Layla there at all. Level 2 sentry going up now for Anzu. Every little thing here just to try and buy those last couple of seconds. The Uber coming in by Sammy trying to get this gun if nothing else. But the right clicks from Nebu denying so much of it. They do get the sentry. Can they repush?
Yeah, Anzu on Phaso just standing on his dispenser, hitting that sentry gun back up on that crate, and Sammy does get sniped by Scrimmers, but Buko has suddenly found a little bit of a flurry of frags, and is going to continue to pressure in from outside, but Kanga very smartly running in, getting the pick onto Buko, cleaning him up, forcing Zio back in through main as well, so that pressure from the sniper has just about been dealt with, and it's just 30 seconds left on the clock here for Twice.
They're just all inning it at this point because there's no sentry gun, but they do have another sentry gun. It's the Brass Beast lasering them down from the left hand side here. Odin will go down as well, hand dealt. Boy, is just murdering them with the golden gun. Who needs an engineer? In fact, we're actually just going to give up altogether and use mini sentries for the last couple of seconds.
Oh my god, Poi with that clutch. I don't know if he was running much Brass Beast earlier in the game, but certainly came in important there. Hiver jumping in, trying to desperately make a play onto the cart, but it's not going to be enough, and Feila going to take it.
Man, it was dicey though. It was very dicey near the end there. That was much better by Twice, you know. They were able to generate momentum far better using that KritzKast, that KritzKrieg earlier in the game, just to generate momentum where they weren't getting it before. They were rolling super well, and then that third point just hit. It just got so slow for them right there. Couple of nice aggressive Ubers by Feila just managed to wrangle control of the game back. And even with that, though, they were just a couple of feet away from being able to drag us to game 3. But as it is 6-0 for Feila.
And yeah, that's going to be pretty pivotal in the table, as we talked about how important it was for Twice to get some points here today, and they haven't been able to manage it despite some of the best efforts of some of their players. As we do move over to logs, first thing standing out to me is Honjo with a beast performance.
Oh yes, that is that's some numbers for a soldier to be pulling out. You know, we constantly mention the conch repushes of both teams. To be fair to Iva, but it was definitely Honjo's that were catching the eye the most, particularly in the first game. 42 and 26 with nearly 420 DPM. Like, man, that's some good stats to be pulling out. And carrying the team, to be fair, that's significantly more kills than anyone else.
Yeah, significantly more kills, a lot of damage as well. out damaging Joe as Demoman as well. Sammy did just about tip him out of it, but yeah, definitely have to give Honjo the MVP for this game. There's no one else really standing out. I mean, BB got a lot of frags, Sammy got a lot of frags. Those are usually the two key kind of playmakers for Twice. If those two are on song, you usually expect them to win, but it wasn't really enough here against Feila.
It was certainly very close, though, and I think that kind of shows more than anything else that the kind of, particularly the top four of this league, are super, super close. Like, any of the teams can probably take any map off the other just on any given day. And that's what always makes it so exciting when, you get to look at the league and it's not just, one or two teams that are dominant. You're looking at an entire spread of teams, any one of whom could not make playoffs, and then any one of whom could win those playoffs. It's always great to see. I don't have any shoutouts myself, do you?
I'm always going to shout out Sensation. Shout out both the teams who give us a good game as well. And shout out to you, Gamma, and Core behind the scenes, always doing some great work. If you want to support the great work that our KritzKast boys do, there is subbing here on Twitch. There's also Patreon as well. Join the Discord and check out the Twitter as well to find out when the games are going to be. As we say, there's a game coming up on Saturday, 21:15 CT. Make sure you check that out. But aside from that, it's going to be good night from me.
Hi, old beaver! Away!